What's up, Ryan Freeman? What's happening, brother?
How you doing, Matt? It's been too long, man.
It has been a long time. So, the owner, chief engineer, guru, stud of Launchpad Indie Recording Studios and more. So,
You're too kind, man. What a great intro,
yeah.
man.
So, so and more. I know you guys obviously you do private lessons for people there. You do a rock band type thing, but
Yeah,
today I just kind of want to chat really about your studio side of stuff.
yeah,
Ask you some questions as a producer, engineer, and music savant. As it.
yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but I
so,
try.
so, you've been, gosh, you guys been open for what, like 15 years now or something?
This will be actually it's coming up on our 13th year,
Okay.
but it's we're pretty darn close, man.
Yeah, well, I was thinking back to when I first, I was like, God, that was a long time ago. So, uh,
Yeah,
so for there's probably a million people out there that would love to do what you're doing for a living.
yeah.
Um, and what do you have any advice for them that people would that want to try to open their own, good and bad?
Yeah, they're on like a recording studio.
Yeah,
Man, I tell you what, one of my biggest things is, you don't have to spend a fortune, to get something that works, works. That's like something you can use and make professional stuff. So if I would tell people, man, like if you could afford to buy a good computer, a good interface, and some decent microphones, um, man, you can make you can make stuff. I mean, whatever you want. It's I think the days of where you have to buy all this gear and all this stuff are kind of, it's kind of over. Like you make awesome records off your laptop. And
yeah. Well, and that's a great point. So like if people can theoretically make records in their bedroom, what is the bonus of coming to someone like yourself
yeah.
versus somebody just trying to make one on their own and save the
Yeah.
money?
Oh, great question, man. Yeah, I would say, if it's always helps to have a second set of ears on especially you being this like a solo artist. Um, I think it always helps having somebody else there to maybe have some input or a second engineering or producing perspective on stuff. So that's for me. Anytime I've ever made stuff, I've always done it with other people. Because as a solo guy, I can get lost in my own head.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I've been recording with Ryan for 13 years now,
Yeah,
shortly after you guys open, really.
pretty much almost day one, man.
Yeah, and that is 100% how I view it. There are a lot of things I can do at home, except live drums. You have the room and the gear to do live drums.
Yes.
So if we choose to do that, I use you for that, obviously.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go and start with laying a bass, not the bass guitar, but bass, you know, foundation down with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll come home and I'll tinker and I can record my own guitars and stuff if I choose to. But then I always bring it back to you to mix
Yeah.
for that very reason. One, admittedly, your ears are better than mine are. So you're better at it. So it's an easy one for me. But two, you have a lot more gear than I have, plugins and stuff. So I let you deal with all that. And exactly what you said, it's good to have somebody else that just says, "Look, man, it's good. It sounds good." Because
Yeah.
usually when you're the artist, you don't ever think it sounds good. You
Yeah.
always think you should add more and that this sucks and we should redo it. And it's good to have somebody you trust to go, "No, no, it's fine. Like it
Yeah.
works."
Yeah. It's so hard. It is because you can just go into a spiral and never ending songs.
Yeah.
It's so yeah. I think, man, if you find somebody that you trust, and um, even I mean even that can give you suggestions on simple suggestions for music stuff or producing or arranging or whatever. Man, never let that guy go.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, you being a drummer and a bass player, I love that too. I obviously can't play drums near what you can play drums. I have got about two beats in my repertoire, but you know, I could play bass on a lot of my stuff, but I love it when you do it instead because A, it's one less thing I have to worry about, and B, it's like you interpret it different, and I like
Yeah.
that because when I'm the only one doing everything from start to finish, when it's finished, I hate every single thing about it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
remember I have to talk you off the cliff sometimes, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
and literally, like if I listen to something you and I do, I go, well, I hate my voice and I don't like what I played there and I don't like this. But Ryan's drums and bass are really cool. Like, like I can still appreciate it for what it is if I'm not involved.
Yeah. Well, shoot, it's always to get somebody else's, everybody hears and interprets things differently, So
Yeah.
like, as soon as you add somebody else to the mix, um, you know, you're going to get a different kind of vibey thing, and could be good or bad, but
Right.
for us, I think it's been great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, and speaking of, never ending, there's one song in particular that I know you and I worked on together and this usually happens every time. I'll be honest, it comes from a budget standpoint. I say to myself, I just want to go in and do this completely stripped.
Yeah,
Just me and a guitar and maybe layer a guitar or two and then be done with it.
yeah,
And we do that, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. And we ended up on one song with going in, that was my philosophy. And by the end of it, we had almost 80 tracks
I
of stuff.
think I remember that song. Yep.
Yeah. And to me it turned out way better, but it's just yeah, that's I gotta have somebody there that you can collaborate with, in my opinion.
Oh, oh my gosh, 100%. And for those people that are wanting to do this and start it up, uh, if you're gonna work with an artist or a musician or whatever, don't be married to your suggestions or anything like that either. I know some people they get offended if you know your idea wasn't used or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I always I always felt like, oh man, I can offer suggestions, especially with you, man. Like I can offer suggestions to you, and it didn't bother me either way if you wanted to like that route or you wanted to go a different route.
Right.
Um,
Well, I think we were lucky in that way and coming from the artist standpoint, which is why it's so good to find somebody that you can get along with.
yeah,
Because if you don't feel comfortable with that person, obviously your creativity is, stifled.
yeah, yeah,
And it's hard to be in a room with somebody that you don't really like when you're trying to create. I mean, I would even go farther on the opposite side on us. Half the time, we've only got 3 hours blocked out, and we won't stop running our mouths for an hour and a half. And we're like, we need to get to work here. We're running out of time.
Oh, it's so true, man. It's so true. Yeah, and it's one of the first things they told us in college. Like because I went to school for recording, producing, and audio engineering, and they're like, look, priority number one is you becoming a human being that people will hang out with you, that you're chill,
Mhm.
that you're just easygoing and fun to be with. You
Right.
know,
Where'd you go to school?
SAE Institute in Nashville,
Okay.
uh, right there on Broadway. No, actually, Music Row. Sorry, get my streets mixed up.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Do you have a number of how many people you've maybe recorded at this time in the 13 years you've been open?
Oh gosh, man, that's a great question. I would say 200 to 300 probably.
Yeah.
Uh, Artist projects. Some of them as simple as like karaoke songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's probably I'd have to look at my hard drives and just see all the sessions, but it's probably in the neighborhood of that.
Is there anything you won't do or that you would like to still do?
Man, I tell you what, you know, I think my I love don't get me wrong, I love all music. Um, I kind of like rap and like hip hop, that kind of stuff. There's some studios that have guys that are like real, real experts at that genre, and I don't
Yeah.
consider myself an expert at that. So I've kind of stepped back from doing that kind of stuff. Um, but no, man, I mean, I love it all, man. Country, rock. I
Yeah.
mean, you got, with you, the beach rock stuff, I love that. I've been really into Jimmy Buffett lately. So
Well, I knew a guy in the past who we had talked about earlier, and he kind of shied away from the rap stuff too, and it was mainly because he said I don't want to do what you were talking about, this the karaoke thing. He's like I want to record people that like have instruments. That's what's cool to me. Like I want to hear guitars and pianos and drums. I don't
yeah,
want you to come in with a track and then me just charge you to, you know,
yeah, and that's a great way to put it. It's like, you know, I I went to school for like learning, microphone techniques and like how to microphone a violin and a drum set and and electric
right.
guitar, all that. I get really into that kind of stuff,
Sure.
and so if there's no instruments involved, I just feel like I'm pushing buttons.
Have you ever done any orchestra?
No, that's actually so I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Orchestra, full orchestra sometime. And then like I've never done anything like jazz wise. So I'd like to do like a jazz trio, or I mean something like that would be fun too.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always loved orchestra, and I would think that being in the room, and I mean, your live room is big enough for, drums and a band, but I don't know how many pieces you could fit in the room there.
Yeah, we'd probably have to use like the parking lot or something.
But you take the church, go
That is
upstairs,
true.
take
Yeah.
it upstairs. Yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
didn't mention. Yeah, this Launchpad Studio is in the basement of an old church.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, it is. We're in the basement, kind of where our control room is and everything. And we ended up buying that building almost 3 years ago. So it's we got an auditorium now, and I got to treat it acoustically. Uh, and then it'd be fun to do something in there also.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
What's your take on today's musical climate?
Oh, that's a good. That's a deep question. Oh man, it's. I think it's good. Uh, for the most part, I think like there's a lot of interesting stuff coming out. The ability to be able to just go with a distrokid or like a distribution service at
Yeah,
like pennies on the dollar, and you
sure.
can get your stuff out there. That's amazing. You know, Back in the day, you always had to go through a record label to get
Right.
your music out. Um, you know, I think that's amazing. I think the trade off you get with that is, I think you get a lot of stuff that's just hasn't really been vetted or like dare I say quality control.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Yeah. I
So
think it was, and I'm probably going to misquote this for who said it, but it always stuck with me. I think it was the guy that founded CD Baby,
yeah,
Derek. I think he was quoted as saying, that out there is, you know, tons and tons of amazing artists, but there's also an endless sea of mediocrity.
yeah,
And it's just kind of like, you know what? That's true because
yeah,
everybody can put out a record in their bedroom now. Doesn't
yeah,
mean they should,
yeah,
but
yeah,
they can.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So true. But I mean, I think like for the majority, it's a great thing. It is different. Like you hardly can make money on your physical recordings now, which it's it's sad, and also it's hard on studios because it's artists can't afford it.
Well, that's a fantastic point and it's not even that you charge insane amounts of money,
Yeah,
but it's just like the return on investment. It's like if I go and I spend three, four, $500 with you on a song, it's like, what are the chances of me getting $500 back?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
It, I mean, take you probably a decade, like
Yeah, exactly. When
these
yeah, when
streaming days.
Spotify's paying you point oh 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 1 cents. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
that part's. I wish they kind of figure out maybe the royalty thing or all that.
yeah.
I understand why it's complicated, you know. And I'm no uh, music business guy,
Yeah.
so I'm sure that there's so many pieces to the pie when it comes to like split offs of royalties and all that. So
Yeah, you hear those stories all the time, and I think what you said is right, that the beautiful thing is that in theory, someone could make a record in their bedroom, get it online through a distrokid, and have it blow up overnight,
yeah,
and they would make, $100 million, and they get to keep it all themselves.
yeah,
But the odds of that are happening are the same odds as winning the lottery.
yeah,
So that's why it's
yeah,
like you still kind of need the machine to push you and promote you
yeah,
and all
100%.
of that stuff. Because if not, you're the proverbial needle in a haystack. I mean,
Yeah,
the grain of sand on the beach. It's like, how does anybody find you?
yeah, man. You look at like artists like I think it's Billie Eilish and Post Malone. I think both had a song. They just threw a song up on SoundCloud, I think, and it just went viral.
Yeah,
But for every one of those people, there's millions of people waiting for that to happen.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
So any last words of wisdom for for people that are wanting to maybe try to make a full-time go of owning a studio?
Dude, yeah. I mean, I tell you what, it's the studio game, dare I say, is it's all about, networking and it's I mean it's coming back to that, like being that easy guy to work with and really just starting to I mean, if I were to have to build up clientele again and all that, I would start going to shows, passing out business cards and just hanging around people, like musicians and all that.
Yeah,
And then try your best, save a bunch of money, buy gear, try not to get in debt for it. Like so it just adds so much pressure on on your studio to get clients in there. You got to make payments on stuff.
sure.
And so yeah, start is it below your means, and you can always build up as you keep building clientele. You can always keep reinvesting, buy more gear,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But I mean, I love it. I think people should, you know, I think everybody should do it.
Worst ways to make a living for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's fun. And the people that, I've been able to meet through the past 13 years have just been awesome, man. I'm friends for life.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, brother. On that note, I hope we can do this again because I got a
100%.
million more questions for you. We'll do a lot of stuff, but thanks
Yeah.
for taking the time, brother. And I will talk to you again soon, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, give me a call. We'll get you in, man.
All right, sounds good, man.
Later, man.
All right, later, Ryan.
See ya.
Ashanoma Namaheya. Ashanoma Namaheya. Ashanoma Namaheya. Sending love your way. It's a hey.